All right, today we're processing tomatoes. Dana and I, we found a really good deal on some canner boxes of tomatoes. So we took a leisurely afternoon drive and went and picked them up. Now we've already processed most of them, but we wanted to show you what we were doing and what has worked for us. It's really easy to peel tomatoes. First you need somebody to core out where the vine was, make sure the vine is out of there. You don't need to worry about the bad spots. And then drop them in a pot of boiling water for about a minute. Now the longer you leave them in the boiling water, the easier they are to peel.
But remember, not too long because they will cook.
Good.
The whole peel just kind of wipes right off. Those tomatoes have been in there about 90 seconds. Okay.
Dana, what are we going to make out of this?
Stewed tomatoes.
Stewed tomatoes? Okay, what else could we make out of it if we wanted to?
Spaghetti sauce, tomato paste, ketchup,
barbecue,
Tomato soup?
tomato soup.
Just whatever you can imagine using tomatoes, I guess. Salsa? Salsa, yeah.
We've already made our salsa, that's why we're not using this one for salsa.
Okay, so we're going to finish up, and we'll be back in just a moment with the cooking process. Okay, now we're proceeding with our recipe for the stewed tomatoes, and the recipe calls for 2 cups of chopped onions. So Dana used the food processor to chop the cups that she needs.
that tomato juice in my eyeball.
Morgan over here is just crushing the tomatoes with her hands.
You can edit that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's in my eyeball though. They're really juicy.
We have some frozen peppers that are left from the garden. So we're going to use these frozen peppers in our stew.
Now why are we doing this? We could just go down to the store and buy it, probably a lot cheaper.
Well, at the store, you don't know what you're getting in your cans. You're getting all kinds of additives. Doing it this way is a lot healthier. And I know exactly what's in my jars. I know exactly what I'm feeding my family.
And it's fun to be in the kitchen together.
Sharpened end on the back of it. This thing is great for peeling anything and everything that has a skin.
Oops, speaking of skins. Peel that with your knife.
As I was saying earlier, this knife is great for anything that has a skin on it. And that just took that skin right off. Under the counter, we have a 5-gallon bucket. We have chickens out back. So we just save the scraps from all of this stuff. And the chickens get fed. And they love having this as a treat. Wash my hands.
Okay, so we have 30 pounds of tomatoes, and then to that, we're going to add 2 cups chopped onion, and then we're going to add 2 cups of chopped peppers, and these are our fresh peppers. And then we also have a 1/4 cup sugar, just plain white sugar. And then we've got 3 tablespoons of celery seed, and 2 teaspoons of salt. And then we're going to hard boil that for 10 minutes with the lid on.
Because everybody in our house likes garlic and there's no garlic in this recipe that I'm using, I'm going to add 2 heaping tablespoons of garlic to this recipe. That's about 4 cloves of garlic. Now that we have our jars filled, I have 3 dozen sitting over on the other counter waiting to go into the pressure canner. So here's what we do. We take a damp rag and wipe the top of the jars. This is to make sure that there's no food stuck around the rim and you get a very good seal. Next, we take one of these magnet lid pullers. The lids have been boiled and sanitized. So we take them out of the water and place them on the jars. We try not to put rubber seal that's on the back because it can contaminate what you're doing. Next thing we want to do is take our, when you put your seal in tight. As you hear in the background is pressure canning though. Some people say tomato because I mine and I can mine onions and peppers. And since there's onion, may not be enough acid. Pressure can mine for 50. When the water comes to a boil in your pressure canner, your jars, and just line them around. This pressure canner should hold about 10 jars. Always use your jar puller, and that way you don't burn yourself. Once you get all your jars in, take your lid.
Just want to make sure the water covers.
This is always the difficult part for me. And make sure that it's closed tightly. You will wait for steam to come out of this center spot right here. Once steam starts coming out of this center spot, turn your timer on 10 minutes. After 10 minutes is up, you will put your weight on top of this. Wait for this to rock. Set your timer for 15 minutes and turn your heat down. This is the pressure cooker that we just finished. You take the pressure weight off of it and use a pot holder or something because it will be hot. You open the lid. Make sure you vent the lid the opposite way from where you're standing. There is steam that comes out and it's really hot. When you do that, you want to make sure your children, your pets are not under feet because condensation develops up underneath the lid and can drip, and it could scald your children or your pets. So we just take these out. I use a towel-lined cookie sheet to cool my jars on.
Okay, stop.
Better. These will sit here to cool 12 to 24 hours, normally overnight. In the morning I'll get up, I will label them, make sure all the seals have sealed, take the bands off of them, and place them in the stores.